The world is a big place, full of color and diversity. Even though Stevens Point, Wisconsin isn't so large, it is diverse. The university located there brings samples of that diversity from all around the globe. Sometimes, against the sheer magnitude of odds, groups of people come together to share hearts and minds in very unlikely places. Here, students from China, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Colombia, only to name a few, congregate for a special reason in a modest church near the UW Stevens Point campus. They come for English Café at the Peace Lutheran Campus Center. On Thursday afternoons from 4 to 6, both American and international students gather together to build friendships and English language skills over soup, a style of food that is recognized worldwide. Pastor Carl Selly, also known as PC, wanted English Café to be a place for students to feel completely at home.
English Café. I came here in 1986, and somehow nobody on campus was reaching out among the international student community. Nobody was doing English, they weren't doing friendship things, and so I decided it's time for Peace Campus Center to do something. So we started doing conversation groups, and that lasted for a while, and then we had to start a new season. And then I left for Michigan. I was in Michigan for 8 years, and then when I came back here, we thought, okay, English Cafe sounds like a clever idea, and it sounds like something that might really work. So we started doing English Cafe on a Tuesday and Thursday, and thought, if we do homemade soup on one of the days, that would probably be a draw for people. And we know that international students, when they come here, some are pretty lonely, some are very unfamiliar with the culture and the territory, and they're missing home, and so a home away from home could be a helpful thing.
The soup is always prepared by volunteers who hope that the international students improve their English and build lasting friendships. Sharon Boersma, this week's volunteer, prepared the vegetable soup for the church's guests in her home the night before. Each week, a new soup is introduced to the guests, sometimes an ethnic classic and sometimes American classics. Using only what she had in her pantry, Sharon used her culinary magic to make enough soup to feed several people several meals, often sending them home with leftovers. Also taking into account that she was feeding many different tastes from the four corners of the earth, she left some options to personal taste, leaving out meatballs, pasta, and Parmesan cheese to be added later if so desired. Sharon says her favorite part about being involved with English Café is watching the progression of the students' English skills. There's a unique opportunity to be found in English Café for learning more than just language skills from each other. Se-hyun, who came to the United States from Seoul, South Korea, shared with others that a typical high school student's day lasted from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. He would often find himself up until midnight doing homework and is now adjusting to the amount of free time he finds himself having in the United States. Howe, who is attending the University of Wisconsin in Stevens Point for electrical engineering, talked about how the childbirth laws in his home country of China have been causing problems with the up-and-coming workforce generations. For many years, China's law would only allow one per household. As the older retire, the younger generation is too few in numbers to fill the needed positions. As a result, the laws are changing to prevent further damage. Se-hyun and Howe are only two examples of different cultures shared within the walls of peace, with hopes of many more yet to come. As students share their life stories and work through language barriers together, friendships are sure to be built at English Café.